say it is the reason we have no hair. Welcome to the Bob and Bonkers Show.
Earth to Lisa. Earth to Lisa.
Earth.
Can we hear you, Lisa? Son of a...
It's not working. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having so many technical problems tonight that you would not believe. I'm having them. Lisa's can't speak. Well, she can't speak, but she just can't hear. You know? And Dakota, can you hear us?
I don't know what to say with what's going on. I mean, Lisa couldn't get in.
I can hear that.
The murder in the back. Whoa! Hey!
Whoa! We heard
I'm
you.
going to mute my mic. Right, wait a minute. I think if
Can you
I
hear
mute my mic, Lisa can
Yes.
speak.
Lisa?
Got it?
Yes.
I'm not touching nothing. I'm not touching nothing.
Okay. I'm going to need you to
Okay,
keep your hands
nothing.
at 10 and 2. 10 and 2.
Hands behind your head.
What in the
That's
world? Okay.
My God.
I'm not touching nothing.
Okay, don't touch anything. 10 and 2. Stay
All right.
Let's do
vigilant.
something.
Right.
We
Dakota,
didn't even have this many
Introduce
issues when we have
everybody,
UFO
yeah.
guests on tonight, you know?
I'm telling you, it's terrible. You know? I'm going to share this out because of all the problems we've had, ladies and gentlemen. But tonight, we are joined by Lisa Fry. From my list.
Ooh.
And Allie, what's that? Rosebrok.
Yep,
Tonight,
Rosebrok.
They've had Rosebrok. They've had communication problems and God knows strange things. But I blame the Ruskies.
The
Oh, don't
Ruskies.
get started into that, man. They're already shutting people down for using the war in shit shows.
I'm pretty sure that's why we're not allowed to talk on this app.
I'm starting to
We've
wonder,
already
'cause
said
we don't
too
even
much.
get this many issues when we're talking UFOs and stuff, and actually have stuff happen.
I know. That's what it is. They just don't want us. They just don't want us talking, you know. And I think that's the problem.
We've said too much.
That's it.
Someone starts
Spies
knocking
are
on the door. Be alarmed.
Wait a minute. How come you guys can see private comments? How do I? Oh, here we go. So excited.
You know what I find very interesting is Allie last time had the worst time, right? She's had no problem.
Well, you can't see my face, so let's just.
Oh, well, that's true.
We're give and taking. Okay, they're allowing me to speak.
A talking
so
horse.
That's the important part.
Right.
You're talking horse, Chris? Is that what you just said?
A talking horse. We'll get a picture of a horse. Get a picture of a horse.
That horse has a lot to say some days.
Yes, he does. He's
I
very
bet he
vocal,
does.
isn't he?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
thinks
right?
he's very
That's the thing. See,
special.
Horses. How intelligent would you say horses actually are?
What was that?
How
How
intelligent.
smart.
I maybe need to put on my universal translator. His name's Dakota. How intelligent are horses?
Depends on which one you get.
Just like a human.
Yeah. Yes.
Really?
Some are very perceptive, and their knowledge is based off assumptions, and some actually have real life knowledge.
Oh, Lord, Christine,
I do
don't
like-
worry.
I
We
like
were having a
people-
bunch of technical issues before the show, and we were trying to get them all sorted out before we came live, and you don't know what happened.
I will say
We're-
this: horses love mints.
Yes,
Horses
they
do
do.
love mint.
I feed them
Yes.
mints.
Yes. Horses
awesome.
do love
This
mint.
is- I'm having weird technical problems. It's like everything's really slow for me, and like the chat's not working for me, which is weird.
Are
That's
you
that.
sure it's just not
It's all
operator
happening.
error, Chris?
It's no operator error. Well, maybe 99% it is, but I'm telling you, it's the Ruskies.
My volume is really, really, really low. And I'm terrified to touch anything to turn it up. I don't even know how to turn it up. So
Can you not
I
do
won't
that
sit here.
Dakota, manually? Can we get the settings and fiddle with it?
I've
No,
been
don't
trying to
fiddle with
fiddle with
nothing.
it. I've been trying to fiddle with it to help from my end to get her to where we can actually hear her, but
Ah.
Well, on my
Hey,
end, I can see and hear Lisa fine. I can see and hear Chris fine, or Dakota fine, and Chris is all pixelated. So I can't even read your
Chris
lips.
is looking a little pixelated. Mr. Fiber
What do you
optic
mean?
connection.
No. But see, this is the thing. I'm coming. I can see myself in 1080p because of my new webcam, but Dakota for me is all pixelated. I'm telling you, it's the Rusties.
And if
I've said
Allie
it for
was
the third
showing her
time.
camera, she would probably look pixelated too.
He's hard on those Russians today.
I know. I'm blaming them for everything. It's their fault. I don't care.
Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, tonight I hope you've maybe got questions in the chat to talk about pets that have passed away to the other side.
And Chris,
If
now
they've
you
got a
have
better
Russians
internet
sending death
connection.
threats. You now have Russians sending death threats. Thanks a lot.
God, Allie.
They're taking him out and shutting the door. Okay.
Oh my god.
That job
I think this is what I could
passed.
do in Infinite.
Sorry about you guys'
There you
eardrums.
go, Chris. There's in the chat they can see everybody clearly. That's weird. That I'm telling you for the first time.
Well,
It's the
You've
Rusties.
seen it when Elena was on that I had to start typing messages because for some reason this was killing mics between me and her, but she could talk to you just fine. Figures leave it to the idiot.
Okay.
But here's the thing, right?
Here we go.
I'll be fine. Let's go. Right.
Take it away.
I've lost what I was going to say. I was going to add a load of questions all memorized, but no, I can't remember any.
Now you know how I feel.
Ladies. So let's talk about mediumship way animals because your internet was breaking up the last time. What is it you actually do? How do you communicate with them, Ali? With animals?
Oh boy, that's kind of a loaded question. Some animals they come across with physical voices. Some information is you intuitively just know things. I was working with somebody that kind of asked me the same questions. They're like, I think I might be able to do this. And I was like, okay, well, some of them are pictures. Some of them are intuitive things that, why would I know this? If it didn't pertain to me, why would I know this? And some have voices. But I would say probably 80% is that I just know things, that I'm just given information, instinctual information that wouldn't pertain to anything else other than that specific energy.
Right. Dakota, would you like to? Oh,
So
Lisa?
how often are the animals trying to reveal something dirty?
There's times that there can be dirty laundry aired. A lot of times it comes from horses that want to kind of spill the tea on their owners, or dogs that can't seem to get their point across. Very rarely does a cat divulge anything. A cat's more meticulous.
Really? You think cats would be the gossip ones?
You would think so. But they have their own way of using that information.
Man's best friend throwing you under the bus at the first chance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's that. I'm going to look at my dog a different way. When I go downstairs tonight, I'm going to look at my dog Jessie. She's going to look at me with her two big ears up. You know.
A lot of times,
Lisa,
in the beginning of my readings, I do tell people, don't ask me questions you really don't want the answers to. Because
really?
a lot of times, you don't you don't want the answers. They are honest, and if you relay the messages incorrectly, sometimes that energy connection, that communication connection, will break away. It will kind of get very difficult. I'll be like pulling strings and straws almost to try to get information. So I have to be very careful of how I communicate the information back to somebody.
Oh.
That's quite interesting. That.
Yes, and if I'm not communicating it correctly, and they say no, that's not what I meant, I definitely have to say, okay, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, I misunderstood, because again, if I'm not relaying the message, which is essentially, in my opinion, a gift, if I'm not going to do the gift justice, then it becomes a very staticky, unclear conversation at that point.
Ah.
Here's an interesting question. I was just thinking about this, right? And I don't know where it's came from. It's just popped into my head. See how you get humans that wait when they die, they wait and their loved ones coming over, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not what you think I'm going to say. Like, see humans that are maybe lost, they've died, right? But they're maybe a lost soul. Does a cat or a dog or a horse go and try and bring them to the light? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't
That's what
know
you
per
used to do.
se that I've dealt with anything like that. I have encountered deceased pets that will imply that they're waiting.
Right.
That and not just that they're waiting, but they're waiting to recognize. Does that make sense? They're waiting to recognize that energy again. So I would, with the intent of waiting, I believe that they probably could recognize that energy and say, hey, come on. I do know that I did a dog with a lady that got seriously ill very quickly, and was in the nursing home, and she passed, and that dog immediately then passed. So I would say that there's definitely, that connection for sure, that they can bond with.
It's like there's a human that's died and they're a lost soul. They don't know they're dead. They don't know what they're doing. They're just stuck in that type of place. And Lisa will know what I'm talking about. It's like a lost soul that's human. It doesn't even know they're dead, right? But say that person had a dog that outlived that person. And eventually, that dog dies. It's like, does that dog go and help that person try and find the way out, to try and find the door out, to take maybe the human to the afterlife?
Yeah.
Do they act as a guide? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I would. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go.
No, go ahead.
No,
Lisa.
when you go. No.
No, I mean, but that's they're part of our soul family. Believe it or not, even pets are part of our connection. They're part of our learning process. And so when you have a pet that either passes before or directly after, or even a little bit after somebody passes, they hang around. Have you ever, Chris? How many dogs have you had?
I think I had Tess, Jess, and then I had my brother's dog Tanya, and now I've got Jess. I've got 4. I've got one that's living right now.
So when you go for your walks, do you feel your dogs with you?
See, that's the weird thing. That's so strange, that, because when my last dog died, I would walk past her grave and I would always feel like she was with me. It was weird. It was as if they were there.
Yeah.
And then I got a new dog.
And they come across because they're always with us. They go in that loop with us on the soul circle. So in the next life, they may be a parakeet. Who knows? But they are always coming in and out of our lives. So you may be going for a walk. Like I've gone for a walk. I very specifically in St. Louis, I was doing this. I was going for a walk with my dog, and he was not well. He was very, very sick. You'd never know it, but we would go for a walk, and by 20 minutes into the walk, I was walking with like 5 other Great Danes, and of course, I didn't see them, but I knew they were there, and I know that they come in and out all the time. They're always checking on us. So the same thing happens when someone passes over. They're like, look, they're there. Let's help them. So they're always around. Always around. It's really interesting.
I find it interesting. I mean, my first dog that died, she was called Tess. She was a full bred border collie. But my second dog I was awfully attached to, her name was Jess. And when she died, I will say this, I was brokenhearted. I was brokenhearted when she died. And my mum and dad got another collie for me. That's Jessie. And I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes I feel like she comes to the house. It's one of these things that I know I've got a spirit that lives in the house with me. I know what his name is. His name's Robert, because I've seen him a few times. But it's weird because sometimes I feel like something walks past me, and you know it's low down, it's no high up, like a human spirit is. It's like because it brushes past your legs, and you're like, what was that? And you look, and there's nothing there, and the door's shut. And you're looking around about, and it's weird. It says that, and that has only happened to me maybe a couple of times when I've been not well. I've had the presence come into my room. It's as if it lies on the bed, but only when I'm not well, which I find strange.
They do have a sense of that. I mean, they're like I said, they're never too far away.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just had something like that happen this weekend. One of our older cats, he wasn't exactly handling us moving house too well, and stopped eating for quite some time. He then just one night, all of a sudden, he was just having a real bad rattle. You know, he was anytime he moved, he was shaking pretty bad. You know, clock was counting down. So I took off to go to work. I came back, came off of work. All of a sudden, I noticed this cat's dead brother is laying on the front doorstep, and I was like,
"Aw,
fuck."
Aww.
And like 5 hours later, I found the alive brother in the litter box, not moving.
aw,
Oh my.
Yeah.
that's sad."
Who wants to go in a
trying
litter
to.
box?
Well, Shadow went into the shower and passed, and we looked all over the house for Shadow because Shadow didn't go in the shower. He would not go in the shower, and to take a bath. And we found Shadow in the shower. So that was weird, So
That's a weird thing you should say that, because my last dog, Jess, and I've noticed this. I've had friends with dogs that have died. Do you find that why do they want to go away and go out the house? And mine went out the house and she went into the woods at the back and died in there. They all want to get away from you before they die. It's weird.
That is a multiple part answer. Some of them, because Lisa and I have talked about this before, and I have wondered myself. When that energy becomes super unbalanced, a lot of animals try to, like indoor animals will try to get outside and ground. They want to find that grounding.
For privacy.
Yes. Like when a dog or any animal is going to have a seizure, they get clingy or they get very hidey, distant. Same type of reaction when that energy becomes super unbalanced. They seek something to balance that. So maybe coming to their owner, we already have a high vibration. They need a lower vibration. Their energy is shifting and unstable, so they need something that's very calming. So a lot of animals will try to go find that earthly balance. And some are drawn out. Some are drawn to areas. So there's many answers for that. But the most common is that animal is aware that there's something happening. Not quite sure what's going on with their energy, but they know that they have to get somewhere calm. They know that they have to be able to release, so to speak. They just don't know that they're releasing themselves.
That's very interesting you say that. because I've noticed that I've had friends that their dogs have died and their dogs have left the house and they've went into the garden and they've had a hint in the shed or they've had a hint in the garage and then just died. And
And
you'd think,
Yeah.
you would think they would want to be with the family, but then again, it's how they want to go, isn't it? What's that? Christina Day, what's that? I've been told they don't want to see their human in grief. I mean, if I
But you
died,
can relate this to humans as well.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you absolutely can relate this to humans as well, because how often do you hear of a person waiting to pass away until people leave the room?
That's true.
You know, we think about it as Reiki. When we use Reiki, we can change vibration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if a soul has to be able to study their vibration, often it's after all those people are out of the room and they're not praying. They are not praying over them. They are not. They're holding that vibration steady. So again, once we kind of just try to take those deep breaths and we try to calm ourselves, we don't realize when we're grounding and we're trying to steady ourselves, we are releasing ourselves.
Right.
Yep.
What can they?
Do I-
What other can
do I-
they? What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's that? No, I was just going to say, what other kind of things do animals tell you? Do they tell you about? Do they tell you about other spirits that they see? Run about you?
They very, very rarely, when you talk with another animal, does it want to talk about another one, deceased or alive. They're very excited that they even get to speak. Not speak. They're excited that they get to be heard and understood. They're talking all the time. Trust me. My brain is just fried most days. But a lot of times they're so excited that they are being heard that they don't talk too much about others.
Right.
And a lot of them don't just spill the beans, so to speak. If we start asking questions about their life and what goes on in their life and paint me a picture of things, then they'll start divulging some more intimate information. But a lot of times when we talk to them, we have point blank questions, right? Like we want to know, how do you like your change in your food? How do you like your new brother or sister? Are you okay if we move? Why are you peeing on the floor? So a lot of times we have very specific questions, and it's not an open canvas for them to talk. And believe it or not, if you give the open canvas, a lot of times they don't take it because they don't.
Right.
They're not as verbal as we are. So when we are like, okay, well, don't they have a lot to say?
They're more emotional, less.
Yeah. Yes. We're sitting here talking. We have cell phones where we have our lives revolve around communication, where those animals do not. They're more seeking affirmation and laying on your lap, so they get pet and things like that. So they're, like Elisa said, they're a lot more emotional, touchy-feely versus finding ways to communicate all the time.
Very true.
It's quite interesting that Christine Day there. I think she's a hospice nurse, so she'll see that all the time. She's a hospice nurse in Australia, and I have noticed that because my grandfather, he died when there was nobody there. It was like he waited till his daughter left the room before he died, which is
Bill did that. He did that as well. He waited until all the men left the room and then let go. I think it's just a comfort thing, they need to have some peace to
Yeah.
let things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
So
Dakota.
interesting.
Well, to try to shift this into the more fun area, we try to keep the shows on.
I know. I'll be crying shortly.
No.
Yeah.
It's like it's supposed to be a
No, but
therapy
it's very,
session.
I mean,
You're on the morbid side. It's fine.
but I mean, people wonder about these things, right? Why do they wander off? Because it hurts our feelings.
Yeah.
No.
But it's not about us. But anyways, Dakota, take it away.
I was going to say, have you ever come across a situation where an animal would start describing things that are a bit on more on the unusual side? Like they're seeing something happen that perhaps their humans aren't seeing, if you catch my drift. I don't know.
Yes. Okay. So are you asking, can animals see other spirit activity?
Yes, but I was going it's somewhere in that area. I'm not sure.
I think Dakota means can a cow or a horse out in the field see a UFO flying over and it tells you.
Same area.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. If we point blank ask, did you? But okay, so this is kind of one of those lingering questions. Is what don't we see? So,
right.
So if that is I'm gonna butcher this a little bit, but just go with me. If
It's
that
Halloween. You're okay.
Right. If that is a flight pattern per se, okay. If that is a reoccurrence to them, but it's not to us, when we pose the question, do you see anything strange or unnatural or not normal? It might be normal for them. Yeah. So to ask the question is very is very direct. So I kind of use an image. Okay, I use an image of the best that we can acknowledge, right? And I pass that image, and we go with yes and no questions. Do you see things above your head often? Do you have encounters other than your owners? Do other people visit? If they're not people, like what is your interaction? What happens? And it's not directly alien related, but I have this friend on Facebook who is adamant that her place is not being visited by spirit, but I'm here to tell you right now, all the video footage she puts up, I'm like, there's no way that can't be. So I went to the horses and I'm like, what do you guys see? And that's kind of when I realized that it was more of how my perception was wrong, because how they described the spirits was, well, they just do chores all night. They're constantly doing chores. Like nobody stops doing chores. So, right. So it's not that they perceive things differently. They're not like, oh, that's a ghost, because that's only our perception, right? That's not their perception. So they see energy, and why not? They're natural healers. So they don't think of it as alarming because that energy is not bothering them. So if we were to go and ask about, per se, aliens or something like that, we would have to be very direct with what we're asking. And then, you know how when you shake your magic 8-ball and it gives you the wrong answer and you're like, how am I going to rephrase that? And you shake it again until you get the right answer. That's kind of how you would have to approach that with an animal.
Yeah. It's interesting that, isn't it?
Makes you wonder what would happen if we take someone like Allie to a cattle mutilation site.
That's what I was just going to say.
All fun and games until the aliens land.
I would love it. I have been researching these things, and I can look at it and be like, no, and yes. And there are some that I'm like, that is not, that was not polite. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is a different energy. There is so a different energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Both of you. Did you just yawn? What?
Yeah.
She's going to set me off.
I don't know.
You've done it to me. You've set me off, and you've probably set loads of folk off in the chat. But can you imagine? Can you imagine what that must be like for the cattle that's witnessed cattle mutilation?
The other cows watching.
Yeah, that would be interesting to talk to maybe another, one that was there and get their perception of things. That may be a very interesting twist on our perception of how things go.
Somebody call Skinwalker Ranch. Okay.
We're trying. We're trying.
I don't try, but I will try.
But
that's an interesting animal communicator for this.
I mean, that's an interesting thing about the cows.
There.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm wearing a hard hat, by the way. Nobody's frying my brain.
That's called a tinfoil hat, not a hard hat.
Oh, yeah. You need to get a tinfoil hat. You definitely need to get a tinfoil hat. You stop the EMF waves or whatever they're called. But here's the thing: I've always wondered, what do cows think of humans? Because you see them on the fields. Do they know that they're cattle? That they are there for food or milk?
Not unless I go out to the barn and tell them. No.
Oh, you don't tell them, do you?
You know that episode on Babe where they just take the mom away and everyone assumes that they're going to a better place? Some of those have that perception. They're like, we just go to a better place.
Sausage party.
Yeah. No, don't.
God. So I have to say, I live at a feedlot. Okay, so we have about 300 to 350 head at a time, and some of those will go and become milk cows, and some of them will become our McDonald's. And when we're working them, sometimes I tell her that she's going to be my McDonald's and she's not going to get a prosperous life. But based on the epigenetics of some of those animals, they are wired to just produce. Kind of like racehorses. A lot of racehorses I talk to, the greatest privilege they can have is to be a mom.
Aww.
That is why they race. Okay, they race not to go fast, but to prove that they are good enough to be a mom.
Oh, look! I got goosebumps on that, and it's because of the PMU babies and the nursemere babies. You know, you're just like
yeah.
Aww.
So when you're talking to food production animals, and this is a long rabbit hole, but you go into the epigenetics, that's all they know. That their purpose and their will to live is to be productive.
Good.
But they don't know what that means. But they know.
So do you think they're in a cycle? They know they're in a cycle where it's just like an ever-ending cycle to be born, death, born, death. Like what I'm saying is they know that is their purpose, to be
Correct.
food for humans.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
As long as Allie tells them.
Put me off my Sunday dinner now.
There's some that I get really mad at, and I'm like, I can't wait to go to
Allie
and get you.
Allie.
And then
you ever been kicked by a cow, though, you guys?
Right. Yes.
I've been kicked by a horse.
And then there's some like my pet Flower, who I have saved from the industry, and she's my pet now. So why I have chosen her, I don't think I did. I think she chose me. So there she goes. She has new purpose.
Allie,
what?
I've known you for 15 years now.
I know.
You guys don't understand. That's different. That's like a huge difference for her, because normally she's like,
I did.
She's a farmer. I mean, she's a farmer, and they're like, Moving on. That's unusual. She must be special.
She is. I even gave her a bale of my horse hay yesterday.
Ooh.
I know. It's a big deal. It is a
You guys
big
are
deal.
like, what the heck?
If you know, you know.
Every time,
If you know, you know.
see, I'm going to say when I sit down to a steak now, I'm going to think, oh, that could have been a cow. That was a cow. That pear thing.
But they're okay with it. I mean, they really are produced for purpose. They really are.
This is okay. I thought we were going on to like.
Yeah, I thought we were doing ha-ha funnies, and we're still on death.
I know, right? I tell you what.
All the bunkers, you never know what's
Ali,
going to happen.
right, I tell you what, Ali, can I ask you a question? Can you sense any pets from either Dakota or Lisa or me in either the spirit world or the living world that have got a message for us?
Yeah, which one of you had a bird?
I did.
I had the budgie ones.
No, you.
That was years
Not
ago.
personally, no, but
What does it look like, Allie?
It's a smaller bird. It's not that big, nasty thing.
Okay.
Does anybody have a
It's
small
not
bird?
me.
He had a budgie, which is a parakeet.
That's years ago. That's like maybe, my God, that's about 30 years ago. Mere.
Do you hear things in your ear? Like, do you like get these weird itches or like flutters?
I get bloody healthy itchy ears, but I blame that on listening to too loud 60s rock music.
I don't think so. I think that it's almost like an itch or like a sensation where you touch your ear.
Aye.
And it only comes when you second guess yourself.
That's interesting. Right. There you go.
So now,
now he's gonna pay attention to it, right? He's gonna be like, oh, my ear again. But it's almost like she comes up and like just tickles the ear, or flaps close to it just to like give you a breeze.
All I can remember of the bird. It was. It died when it was quite young, but I used to get annoyed by it because it makes so much blooming noise. And we didn't have it for long before it was given away to like another place because it was quite noisy. It was actually given to somebody with an aviary with like that kept other birds, so it'd be happy, it could fly about and stuff like that, and day with birds day. But no, that's quite interesting because I do get itchy ears now and again. But I just thought it was down to my other headphones that I wear because I listen to a lot of music.
Are you not cleaning your headphones?
They're noise cancelling ones. I mean, I don't know. They're quite new.
Well, here's an interesting question. Can humans be reincarnated into animals?
Yes. Most definitely. Let me rephrase this. It's a soul circle. So if that animal or that person or it's a soul circle. So if you can recognize that back in an animal, absolutely. Now I have spoken with animals that have presented past lives as humans. So that's why I can confidently say yes. I had a Civil War soldier. This has been a couple of years ago, and I don't even remember. I think he might have been in a cat. Lisa, do you remember? I think you and I did this one together, maybe.
This tickles a memory on me, but you know me, I don't remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
I know, it was an older lady. She was very down and out. It was a black cat. I don't remember, but anyways, he was a Civil War soldier, and he spoke of his life as a soldier, which was yes, and it was not pleasant. And so there was a lot of affirmations. He was getting ready to pass. There was a lot of affirmations of appreciation. Maybe he didn't really understand his life as a cat, but he was like, well, it's way better than, being on the battlefield. And a lot of these conversations are so channeled that I don't retain the information, but I do remember that cat was a Civil War soldier in he spoke in images, and to tell you what those images were horrific. So the affirmation of how pleasant his life had been as a cat versus a human was very interesting.
Do you think that was done by design for respite, like a break from human existence? Because it's really hard. I mean, human existence is hard. But do you think that the soul makes that decision on the other side for a breather, rather than totally abstaining from coming back immediately, kind of thing?
So it's sent into a cat as a reincarnation psychiatric ward?
For that particular soul, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we could go totally Sabrina the Teenage Witch and say that, some people are brought back as cats as punishment for bad deeds, but that would be a complete what? You've never seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
No.
What is wrong with you?
So can that be the other way around? Can a animal spirit come as a human spirit?
Well, I don't work a lot with humans, but I would absolutely say if it can go one way, it can go the other.
I think Dakota was a raccoon in a previous life.
Yeah, Lisa, have you had anything in your past lives?
Not that I pick up right off the gate. And I very rarely remember doing people's readings for them. So, I mean, I can't even fish from that pool. But
I don't remember any readings you saying you were an animal.
If I had a past life as an animal, I would think it would probably be like an alligator or something really grouchy. I don't think it would be.
I would definitely have been an owl. The turn and burn stare that I can admit is real.
Oh Lord, you guys don't even know.
Oh God.
The resting bitch face on this woman is epic.
I wonder what kind of animal Dakota was. If you were an animal, Dakota, what would you be?
If I would come as an animal,
I don't think I want to answer that question.
Dakota.
What?
Come on, Dakota.
Go on.
There's stuff I've been working on for past life stuff that, let's just say, I recall things getting decapitated, but
Hey, you could have.
I love the look on Lisa's face. Like, what?
You could have been an octopus or something.
What were you doing?
I was holding its head.
You were holding it?
I was holding its head because it was trying to attack some kids, and we flew off into something, and it just ripped it off.
So you were Bigfoot. You were.
I don't know. I'm about the size of one. Yes.
Wait a minute. No, go back to this. You were okay. We're saying that if you were an animal.
I was not saying an animal. I was just saying we've been doing some past life stuff, and there's thanks, Mom. That's my mother.
Oh, hi, Shannon. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Shannon. Let me bring her up.
Stop hitting on my mom.
I'm just saying hello, Shannon. I
God.
Didn't say that. Yeah, it annoys him. And to annoy him,
Oh my gosh. It's interesting though. It's an interesting conversation. And you have to wonder if you're pulled towards the type of animal energy that you might have encountered in a past life, like you are pulled to maybe a location from a past life as well. So you have to wonder about that. These people have favorite animals and stuff.
Our dog trainers, the really prolific ones, are they dog trainers because they understand the psyche of the dog?
Sure.
I'm not a horse trainer anymore because I don't want to understand the psyche of that animal.
Because they're real assholes.
They can be, yeah.
What would you? Right, here's a question. What would you say was the most difficult animal you've ever read?
The goldfish.
Goldfish?
Goldfish?
Goldfish. Really?
You know
Is it
what?
true
He's
they've only
also probably been not only the hardest one to read, but probably the one that I was most horrified to read. I don't speak goldfish.
what did the witness?
What the?
What did that goldfish do to other goldfish?
He was not a nice goldfish. He just was not. He and to be honest, I was like, wait, you want me to what? And so I got in my head that I couldn't talk, but energy's energy, right? So he was not a nice goldfish. He would flap other goldfish. He would bump them out of food.
I've seen that happen.
He's not a
I
nice
had goldfish
goldfish.
once.
And so
I've seen
the
goldfish shoot
question,
rocks at each other.
yeah, the question really
noticed
was,
that.
does he want his own tank? I remember this conversation. I remember this question, and truthfully, this lady paid me to talk to her goldfish just to ask if he needed to be in a different enclosure. It wasn't, I'm going to get rid of this goldfish. It was, I want him to be happy. So what can I do? And he,
Goldfish are strange.
yeah, I mean, energy's energy, right? So it all communicates, but he wanted specifically him and another fish to be put back together, and then they were fine.
I get it. I mean, I just transported 2 goldfish in a bait bucket across the country.
I was terrified you were going to ask me how they were doing. When I seen the picture,
they're
I didn't even comment because I was like, please don't ask me to speak again.
I will say this. I had a goldfish that lived till it was 15. I mean, 15 years old.
Wow.
But which is, I know. We won it at a kind of shows. You know how you get like state fairs, and we won it at a fair.
Yeah.
And it lived for years at the run tank, and it lived for years. But one day it jumped out, and I picked it up, and it was nearly dead, and I put it back in. And ever since that day, ever since I saved it that day, every time I walked into the house, it come straight up to the tank to see me, as if it recognised me because I saved its life. But it's weird what you say about how they get things stuck in their mouths, because it used to like pick up the gravel. Don't know what they were doing. I don't know why it did it. It would like move gravel about the bottom of the tank. And there was one day it like nearly swallowed a huge bit of gravel. I had to sit for ages and try and poke it out of its mouth. But I always wondered about fish and that. I mean, fish, where did they go? That's an interest. Or is that just a cycle of life for fish? Because you get obviously trawlers.
Great fish fall in the sky.
Aye.
Yeah, I think they just go back into the soul circle. The soul. What I mean, the cauldron of energy. I don't know where they go.
I miss Fred. His name was Fred. Every time I walked into the kitchen, there he was. He'd be in his wee bowl, waiting on me. You know. But it's animals are very strange. I mean, what would you say was the funniest animal you've ever encountered that's told you the most strangest thing? Oh, come on.
Well, I don't remember a lot of our conversations.
You know?
But I will tell you probably the most memorable, or one of the most memorable, was somebody that was trying to feel me out and see if I was real. And so, I mean, when you're working with somebody that doesn't believe that you can obtain information, I was working on a horse of hers, and this horse was very shut down. So I was really struggling. I was mentally struggling because I knew the questions she was asking were direct.
You there, Allie? Allie.
The fish are coming for revenge.
Still there?
We're here.
Oh, okay. You are back. Am I back?
You're
back.
You're back
Okay, but
from
they're not.
beyond. Yes.
Who?
The guys.
You.
Oh, you are back. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I was here.
Okay. So I was doing this reading again, and she was, kind of trying to call me out on things, and through my hallway walks this horse, and I thought, why are you in my room? And so I stopped her and I said, I'm sorry. I said, I have a horse standing in my living room. It's gray. It's about 16 hands. It's almost to my ceiling. Does he belong to you? And she immediately went dead silent. And I was like, hello? Hello? And she's like, yes, he just passed last week. And I said, he has messages for you. And that horse, I couldn't get him to shut up. And it's funny
Must
to
be
this
related to
day.
me.
Yeah, to this day, he's still. I can call on him and work with him. If I'm having a problem, I can call on that energy, and he comes to me, and it's really cool.
That is cool. This is something that I've always wondered, and it's animals. What about animals that have witnessed a crime?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's something that I wanted to ask you the last time, but I forgot to ask you. And what happens if, like, say, someone breaks into a house and murders their family, but the cat's there or the dog's there, and they survive, or they witness something? Do you think that animal could help solve the crime for who did it?
Absolutely.
Right.
But that will get a little sketchy. You would definitely want to keep it at yes and no questions.
Right.
Because you don't want a lot of perception in it. You would want very definitive answers. But absolutely, I mean, they witness everything daily. So I mean, I could ask, if there's a dog around Lisa, I can say, what temperature is Lisa at? Is she spicy today? Is she sad? Like where are we at? And that dog could answer that for sure. They can definitely give answers to those things.
That's quite interesting because it would make you wonder, because you think about all the police out there that have went to like a murder location in a house, right? And say the man and woman, they've been murdered, but the cat's still there and it's alive, or the dog's still there and it's still alive. It makes you wonder if you could maybe pick up on who the murderer looked like. So as the police could go, right, we're looking for like a black car, we're looking for maybe somebody that looks with a scar on their face or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be no different than a medium doing mediumship for a deceased in a homicide. It really wouldn't be any different. No.
Very true.
It's very interesting because I've heard of that. I've got friends that are police officers and they've been to like crimes like that, and they've like, oh, the cat was left without an owner, we had to take it to the pound and stuff like that. And it makes me wonder, it says, I bet you that cat witnessed what happened.
Sure.
Yeah.
The problem will be getting people to believe us.
That's true.
The cat said that it was in the library with the candlestick.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Allie, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Can you check in on Gus?
Why do you ask? Because I was drawn to him 2 weeks ago. Why do you ask?
It just kind of stomped on me a little bit while we're doing this, that Gus needs to check in. So while she's doing that, you guys, Gus is a stallion that we used to own, and actually how we met Allie. She trained him to ride. Really nice horse, and he had some peculiarities. He did not like to breed mares that had any kind of defect. Like he's a snob, and he's not a stallion anymore. But we had this mare that had a limp, and you should have seen us trying to, like, we had an extra stallion and an extra mare there, and we had to tease them with opposite animals, and then slide a mare up in front of it. Was a circus. He was very picky.
Yeah.
But he ended up doing something totally different with his life. And I hope he's okay because it's unusual that I would be like, hey,
So
Allie, check
I
in.
did pick up major life changes, and I don't know what that
Yes, sir.
means.
I wonder if
What
he's
age
moved.
was he? What age was he?
He was, I don't
He was
know.
7
How old was he when I had him? 8, 9?
8 or 9. He'll be what, 17 this year? 18?
Oh my God. Yeah.
How long can a horse live?
I mean, they're in their 30s.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have one that's 28.
No.
That's quite
We're just
interesting.
letting that cruise.
Dakota, do you have any questions to ask about pets or anything? 'Cause you might have.
I
He's
don't
stewing
know.
on one.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it.
When are we going to Skinwalker, Dakota?
Oh, I would love to do that, but during last time we had Lisa on, everybody was vouching for wanting to sacrifice Chris, so we go to Dracula's castle.
Hey.
So,
But think of the angle. Think of the angle. We have an animal communicator that wants to talk to animals that have been witness in the pasture to mutilation. Let's see what we can pick. Oh, there's an angle there. There's an angle.
I want to talk to the animal mutilation specialist that they brought in. I was so drawn to her.
Oh, I missed that.
What? They had a specialist come in.
Girl, I have drama here. We don't know. I've been busy.
Okay, well, it's on like Netflix or whatever I watched it on. Don't do it again.
Okay, I'll watch it. God.
It makes you wonder that if the cattle will be like, oh yeah, we see the aliens, they come down in their spaceship every day and they take some of our friends away and we've never seen them again.
But again,
They're like,
we
la,
have to
la,
be careful
la, la.
with
Oh, hell.
yeah. Right. We have to be careful with the verbiage because what we associate as an alien, they could associate as normal behavior.
Very true.
Or God. Not to take it into a weird area, but they could be thinking of that as being, a whole different thing. They could think of it as something totally different than we do.
Absolutely.
Makes you wonder what would happen if they ever said they saw pigs fly.
I would be on here going, guys, we have pigs flying.
Is it true that pigs are intelligent, really intelligent?
Yes, they are. They I mean you can't obviously compare their intelligence to us equally, but they are very intelligent, yes. They're very empathetic. They're very emotional creatures.
Mm-hmm. Then they eat you if you're ever caught lying around them.
Yeah, they're good at judging character. Yes, if you suck, they will eat you.
Well, wait a minute, you feel guilty about bacon.
So there you go. I'm not going to eat beef and I'm off pulled pork.
They are living for purpose. That is what their epigenetics are wired to do.
Everybody in the chat now is not going to buy any beef or ham products now from McDonald's. Okay, that's what it's got to be. You know,
and they're going to treat their fish much nicer too.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, my goldfish, I used to dip my finger in the water and it would come up and it would nibble the end of my finger. But what I used to do at Christmas, I used to dip it into a wee bit of whiskey. And then it come up and it would lap at the whiskey. I think that's what kept it living.
You're surprised.
You know, it did be funny. It didn't go in circles. It used to just keep bouncing off its fake castle under the water.
Oh my gosh.
Driving fish. Wow.
I know, but that's the thing. I mean, animals are really strange. I mean, my collie, my dog Jessie, she's a strange collie. She's like 1 minute she's really happy, and the next minute she's like really depressed. It's weird. It's like can dogs get depressed?
Yeah, and they can also overload on energy. So if she is depressed, take her outside.
Right.
Get her in the grass. Yeah.
Yeah. She does that. She bounds about like an idiot. I've always wondered about her because she's just kind of weird. She's kind of the most weirdest border collie I've ever had. It's just the way she acts. It's strange.
Well, I got a cat that loves eggnog, so
See, that's the thing. I can't get eggnog in this country, which I think's a disgrace. You know, and I'm blaming the Ruskies again for that.
and there's another death threat.
Wow.
And our live is now going to crumble.
Yeah. Well, it's because we're gonna get shut down by the Ruskies. So
The Ruskies, look, they've not been called the Ruskies for a long time, so I'll be absolutely fine. And if you are watching, Dakota's easier to get to, so just go visit him.
do what?
If there's reasons why to talk to him, you know, just go to Dakota, because he's the owner of the Bonkers, so better
Well,
taking it up with the main man.
You're
you know.
closer to
Oh,
Russia than I am.
That's very true.
This is
That's
true.
that
And,
is true.
And you know, I think Russian women are very beautiful.
Really,
Mm.
they
I'm not
are,
denying.
right? They have that beautiful dark hair. A lot of them have those really just wide. They're really beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, talking about animals, and I'll tell you something new, which I have noticed, and I don't know if it's happening in the United States now, is there's not many birds here in Scotland. The birds have all been dying off because of bird flu.
Really?
Yes,
Really?
and I've noticed there used to be lots of crows, and there's hardly any. And I was actually talking to the farmer about it, and he was actually saying that he's no seen hardly any crows. He's been finding them lying dead at the bottom of the trees,
Wow.
and seemingly some of them are taken away, and it's bird flu. Because in the UK, there's a shortage of turkeys because a lot of the farms are killing them all off because they've all got bird flu.
Bird flus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know just down
Off
to my
we go
parents,
again.
they they just called 3 million birds, 3 million laying hens.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
So what is all doing for Halloween? Creatures, goblins, packing.
We're getting ready to go trick or treating.
Candy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I am partaking, is just so I can stimulate the candy growth.
Yeah.
Well, I would make
You gotta
as much
check
fun
it.
as
Yeah.
I would
I
make
got,
as
it's
much
the
fun as
parent
possible.
pack, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta make sure it's safe.
I would have as much fun as possible because soon the United States will run out of diesel and you're going to have to use your horses to get about.
I've
Yeah,
actually
we
been
might
seeing
have to.
that around here.
I'm too lazy to saddle.
Me too. We can go bareback. I don't even know
See,
if I'd do that. I don't know if I want to deal with their attitudes most days.
No, look, I was in the pasture and I'm like loving on the horses, and I'm like, you know, I'm a horse my whole life, and I'm looking at my horse, and he's cranky because he's lazy. Clem, she knows Clem, and he's lazy, and I look at him and I'm like, I really should ride you, and he went, I don't think so. I went, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
We agreed
Yeah.
to not.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It's like, okay.
I will admit, horses, I do like horses. I mean, you do make the mistake of feeding a horse and it'll follow you until it can't follow you no more.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's ones up behind me in the farm behind me, and I'll give them some like polar mints, they're called like sugar candies, and I'll give them some, and I'll say, right, I'll be back for about 2 hours, so I'll go on my walk with my dog, and I'll come back down there, but the horse will be standing waiting, as if
Oh,
it
yeah.
knows what
Yeah.
I just said,
Yeah.
and it'll be waiting, and you get more candies. But it's, I don't know. I love horses. I think they're beautiful animals. They really are. They really are.
They are.
So, Lisa, first, would you like to give out your website and tell everybody where they
I was
can
about to
go
say.
to your? Yeah.
Are you ready to tell your announcement that you slipped to me in air? No. All
No,
right.
I can't
Shut
yet.
up,
I have to
Chris.
do it with my husband.
Oh,
I have to. Allie knows
you
though.
will tell me.
I know.
You
You
Yeah.
know what it is,
Allie
Chris.
knows
I
my
told you.
All right, right.
Allie knows the announcement. I was supposed to Monday night. I was supposed to do a séance, and I'm here in Texas, and I don't have anybody to work the table with me. But I have somebody coming over to work the table. Well, she's coming over, and she's part of the My Mystical Life group. I'm going to see if she wants to work the table. So we might do a live Monday evening. So that might be fun. We'll see about that. I know. And it's My Mystical Life. And I've been offline for a month. So as of yesterday, it was a month since Bill passed away. It was a really, really hard. Actually, I've been offline for a month and a half. It's really hard to get back in the swing of things. So I'm trying to do that. So mymysticallife.com, we're getting a class on Monday is on sacred geometry and how it affects the body, mind, soul, all those things, and all that good stuff. That's me. And then we have a big secret, but we can't tell anybody.
I know. I'm horrible. I don't know why she told me I'm the worst secret keeper. Like if I
Because
buy
I need
presents for
you.
people, if I buy presents for people, I have to gift it immediately.
Allie's in on it. Allie's part of it.
I was not aware of that part, but
Does
yeah,
Allie?
She lives right by our house in Ohio.
Yes.
Does Allie have any links or anything that wants to be shared out, or any plugs she wants to plug?
Nope. I do everything off my personal Facebook page. So if you see my name down on that screen, that's exactly how you contact me on Facebook.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You know. Well, I think
I am very easy to get a hold of.
Well, it's been an absolute. Thank you for coming on, Allie, and thank you for coming on, Lisa. Even though your computers might have 5 billion viruses, and you might have to fix it when you go off. But I'm telling you, you need to buy some internet. You need to buy some internet security, right? And maybe somehow they'll be able to fix it for you. You know.
It's a Mac.
So Dakota, do you not have an announcement? Do you not have an announcement here? Yes.
Oh yes.
Dakota's got an announcement.
So some of you may know that outside of well, long before Chris and I even met, I've been involved with several companies, movie studios, all that fun stuff. Because we are trying to get a UFO-based documentary off the ground. I've been putting in some work to get a partnership / we're officially going to be shareholders of it now, but Walden Bonkers is now starting to go into business investments. We are going to start partnering up with Legion M. They produce all sorts of fun movies. There's one coming up. What was its name? It's like Mr. Something in the Talking Mongoose. It's got Christopher Lloyd, Simon Pegg, Minnie Driver. Since it is a pet-based show, they are looking for pets to show in the movie. So there's an audition.
There you go.
Let me know. So, plus we also have a documentary with William Shatner coming out.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, everybody likes William.
Can I please talk to his horses?
Yeah, we've been trying to get him on the show because we have ulterior motives for this partnership. But yes, William Shatner is part of the investment board and is an advisor. And apparently it's just his year anniversary with us too now on that front. So
cool.
Yeah.
How exciting, you guys. Congratulations.
He rides a Palomino.
He does ride a Palomino.
That's right. William Shatner's right. Any horses, isn't he? He's right. I seen a program about that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen it. It was on TV. That's quite interesting. That is.
Congratulations, you guys.
Oh, thank you very much. What are you doing for Halloween? You dressing up?
Who?
Everybody. What you all doing? I'm asking everybody.
No.
Dakota's got to come as me. I just need to take the specs off. And
I need to find out what I do. I do need to find where my glasses are because we do have somewhat of a Halloween episode coming tomorrow. Our friend Brian J. Laverty is going to be coming on to talk about his recent investigation into Bobby Mackey's music world.
Cool.
Yeah. And I would just like to thank Allie and Lisa for coming on. And we'll need to get you back sometime. And I would also like to thank the chat. Thank you very much for coming. And if you're new, please subscribe. And we'll catch you all tomorrow night. And thank you so much. I'll talk to you behind the scenes, but catch you all later, dudes. Bye-bye.
Good.
Bye.
Be sure to visit baldandbonkers.net for all of our amazing projects and sneak peeks of what is to come.